All right. Okay, so the airplane story, right? So for the people that don't know, all right, for the past few days, I was in Florida on a business trip with Steak and Carl Jacobs, right, from Mr. Beast, right? Yo, what's up, Myth? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And if you guys don't know, well, in order to travel, you pretty much have to either drive, take a train, or fly. And I don't drive. I don't like driving. And there ain't no trains really in America, so our option was to fly. So I had to fly from, like, Pennsylvania to, like, Florida, right? Now, if you guys have ever flown on an airplane before, there's two types of flights, okay? There are direct flights, and then there are flights with layovers, okay? Now, I'll explain what that means for anyone that's never flown before, okay? A direct flight means you fly from point A to point B. It's one flight. You get on, and then you get off, right? It's direct. A layover means you have to take another plane. So, like, for example, if you want to get from Pennsylvania to Florida, you might have to fly from Pennsylvania to Texas and then to Florida, right? It's a layover flight, which means you gotta fly two planes, right? Now, I don't like flights with layovers because it means I gotta get on two different planes. It takes longer. You gotta get on the plane, get off the plane. It's a whole process. So where possible, I try to get direct flights, right? They're just easiest. Okay. Get to the point. All right, look, I'm getting to the point. All right. Trust me, okay? So I had to take a flight from Pennsylvania to Florida, right? And the only direct flight they had was Spirit Airlines. Now, for the people that know what Spirit Airlines is, you probably just went, ugh! And for the people that don't know what Spirit Airlines is, well, let me explain, okay? So if you're in North America, Spirit Airlines is what's known as a budget airline. They're very, 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 very cheap in every single sense of the word, right? The airline with the most delays, Spirit Airlines. Airline with the most problems, probably Spirit Airlines, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? Like, they don't even give you water on the airplane. You got to pay for water, right? Like, Spirit Airlines is crazy. I think they're the worst rated airline in the United States. It's either second or worst. Like, second worst or worst. They're at the bottom. And so I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fly on Spirit Airlines for the first time ever. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? Right? It's a direct flight. I get on the plane. It's 2 hours to Florida. I get off the plane. What's the worst that could happen, right? It's 2 hours. What's the worst that could happen? Well, let me tell you. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Hold on. Wait, what door is it? Chat, what door is it? Is it 15 or 16? Is it 15 or 16? Hold on. Is it this one? Is it this one? No, it's this one over here. Anyway, I was thinking, what's the worst that could happen, right? So anyway, I booked my Spirit Airlines flight. But I had an idea. Because for $50 extra, I could get first class on Spirit Airlines. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to get first class on Spirit Airlines. Oh, my God. Anyway. My flight was supposed to take off from Pennsylvania to Florida at like 5 p.m. Okay? 5 p.m. I'm on the way to the airport. I get a notification. My flight got delayed until midnight. My flight got delayed until midnight. So I had to wait at the airport until midnight. Right? So midnight comes around. I'm sitting at the airport. They're like, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time to board the airplane. It's finally time to board the airplane. I'm like, finally. I'm finally going to be able to get on the airplane and go to Florida. And I'll get to Florida at like 3 a.m. in the morning, but you know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter. We go to get on the airplane. I am in line to get on the airplane. And this dude comes out and he's like, nobody is allowed to board right now. There may or may not be a mechanical issue with the plane. Please give us 20 minutes. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm sitting here in line, about to get on this Spirit Airlines flight. And this guy comes out. He's like, there may or may not be a mechanical issue. Like, what does that even mean, mechanical issue? Like, is the plane gonna, like, split in two? Is the engine gonna fall off? Like, what do you mean, mechanical issue? And so we wait 20 minutes. You know, he comes back out, and he's like, you know what? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You can get on the plane now. And I'm like, cool. Great. I'll get on the plane. And so I get on the plane. And you know what? That first plane ride, it actually wasn't. Oh my God. 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 That first plane ride, it wasn't actually that bad. The plane ride back home, though. Oh my God. Let me tell you. All right. So the plane ride back home. This was yesterday. All right. I get to the airport. All right, I'm in zone 1 because I was stupid enough to buy first class on Spirit Airlines. So I'm the first person to get on the plane, right? I'm the first person to get on the plane. And the lady comes on the intercom. She's like, anybody who's on the flight to Pennsylvania, we're going to be boarding zone 1. And I'm like, great, this is my zone. What happens? Everybody stands up and gets in line. Everybody. Every single body there. I'm like, zone 1. Zone 1. Zone 1, not zone 2, not zone 3, not zone 4, not zone 5. Zone 1. Everybody started running to like the line. And they're on the intercom, they're like, Zone 1, Zone 1, Zone 1. Bro, I've never seen so many 60-year-old dudes and 60-year-old women like just run, dude. I'm like out of my way, out of my way. I will break your hip out of my way. You know, get out of my way. I will send you to a retirement home, Grandma. All right, like out of my way. I'm getting on this plane, right? So I'm like pushing all these old people out of the way because everybody stood up for some reason. Like it's so annoying when people do that. You know, like they didn't even call your zone. You know what I mean? Anyway, I get on the plane. I sit down. I get comfortable, you know? I'm getting comfortable on the plane. Everything's looking great. And all of a sudden, this kid sits down behind me. Right? He sits down behind me in the seat behind me. And what does this kid do? Let me show you what this kid do. All right? Let me show you what this kid did the entire flight. The whole 2 hours, dude. The whole 2 hours, this kid kept kicking the back of the seat. Bro, I was like this close to turning around and like telling that kid that, what happened? I didn't do anything. What do you mean? Like what happened? What? Man, dude. Oh my God, so annoying. And he was kicking hard, dude. I'm like, bro, like, dude, if you're a parent, do not let your kid kick the back of the airplane seat. You know what I mean? Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Anyway, I'm on the plane. It's about to take off. I'm in the second row, first class, right? Spirit Airlines first class. And in the front row, the first plane. Is this a rush? This is a rush. In the first row ahead of me, there was a couple with a baby, right? They had like a 4-month-old baby with them. And they sat down, right? And as soon as they sat down, that baby went. The whole freaking flight back, dude. That baby was screaming so hard that I thought they were going to have to turn the plane around because the baby was literally going, "Ah! Ah! Ah! Ah!" I've never seen bro, that baby was mad. And they're like, baby, here, have some milk. Baby didn't want the milk. Baby, have a pacifier. Baby didn't want the pacifier. Like, baby was mad, dude. And so the flight attendant comes over. And they talk to the couple in the front row with the baby that's screaming so loud that baby's screaming. I'm getting kicked in the back by 8-year-old Skibidi Toilet Kid, right? Anyway, they're like, ma'am, sir, you're not allowed to have a baby in the front seat of an airplane. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, what do you, I'm like, what? And then the mom looks at the flight attendant like this. And I'm like, oh, this gonna be good. Oh, this gonna be good. Here we go. I have my phone ready. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna record this, dude. And so she's like, flight attendant's like, you're not allowed to have a baby in the front seat of an airplane. One of you is gonna have to swap seats, right? And so they agree, right? The dad will hold the baby, and the dad will sit on the second row instead of the first row, right? So they do some seat swapping, right? They swap the seats around. That baby is still like, wah! The whole time. Anyway, all right, dad's sitting in the second row with the baby. Oh, my God. Mom's sitting in the front row. She's mad, right? She's not happy. Not happy at all. And like 30 minutes go by. The dad is starting to freak out, right? Because the baby won't stop crying. The baby don't want the milk. The baby don't want they don't want anything. Baby don't want anything, right? And all of a sudden from the back of the plane, I hear an 8-year-old kid go, "Shut up!" I'm like, oh my God, dude, bro, this plane's gonna get turned around, dude. Imagine a squeaky 8-year-old kid, just yelling, "Shut up." That's what it sounded like. And so the dad's like super frustrated. So the dad swapped seats back at the front of the plane, right? And the flight attendant comes over and he's like, "Sir, the baby cannot be in the front of the plane. Go back to your seat. The baby cannot be in the front of the plane. Go back to the seat." And the dad looked at her and he was like, "No." And I was like, oh my God, it's about to go down, bro. It's happening now, dude. It's happening now. And the mom's like, "Please explain to me why the baby can't sit in the front seat." Bro, why is he he's just sitting right there? What's he doing? I just got kicked out of the game. You got to be kidding me right now. What the heck? Anyway, the mom's like, "Please explain to me why the baby can't sit in the front seat." And the flight attendant's like, "The front row has inflatable seat belts." I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently there's inflatable seat belts. And the baby's not allowed to be around an inflatable seatbelt because if the plane crashes, the inflatable seatbelt will inflate and it'll hurt the baby, right? And the lady goes, if this plane crashes, we all gonna die anyway. So what does it matter? And I'm like, oh, I'm like getting ready to record because I'm like, oh, they're gonna fight, dude. They're gonna fight. This mom's gonna fight the flight attendant right now. I'm like, oh. So I'm sitting here, I got my M&Ms. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good, right? And so the flight attendant comes back with the flight attendant manager. So there's like all the flight attendants are at the front of the plane surrounding this couple with the baby that's still going, And they're like, you guys have to move. The baby cannot be in the front seat. If you don't move, we're going to have to turn the plane back around and kick you off the plane. And I'm like, oh my God, no, I swear, please do not. I just want to go home. Please just move to the second row. It's not that big of a deal. And the mom's like, I ain't moving. I paid for this first seat. I ain't moving seats. I'm like, oh my God. Just move to the second row. You're in the first row. Just move to the second row. It's not that big of a deal. Oh my God. The plane's going to get turned around. I'm going to be stuck in Florida. For a whole other day, dude. What in the world? I'm like freaking out. It was crazy, dude. Eventually, the couple agreed to swap seats with me. I swapped seats with the couple. I sat at the front of the plane. They took my seat. And everything was fine. I don't think I'm ever going to fly on a Spirit Airlines flight again, okay? I'll just say that. I don't think I'm ever going to fly on a Spirit Airlines flight again, dude. Like, oh my God, that was the craziest thing I've ever showed the video. I didn't record it. I was waiting for him to start fighting, and as soon as